Hey guys, I'm Mason. I'm a completely blind wrestling fan and this is my podcast, Wrestling in the Dark. Today, I should be here bringing you an NXT review, but unfortunately, technology is not my friend and decided to delete quite a few of the parts of my NXT review. But since I brought you the main event of Raw and Smackdown, I'd at least bring you one of the parts that it did keep. So I'm here with my review of the main event of this week's NXT. It's Killian Dane versus Matt Riddle. What was it like for a blind wrestling fan? Stick around and find out. I've said multiple times this week that the main event of a show should serve to be a showcase of some of the top talent, that it should be impactful and draw you in and make you want to come back next week. It should be the point where everyone is at the top of the game. And I tell you what, if you want a match like that, put Killian Dane and Matt Riddle in your main event, because this match was awesome. I really enjoyed it, and I think that this rivalry is shaping up to be something really special. It's making both men look great, and this match really did. So let's get a little thing out of the way, right? Beginning of the match, Beth points out that Riddle and Dane remind her of Ali and Foreman, and that Riddle needs to rope-a-dope. And I'm like, man, if that is not the most referenced piece of sporting history, then I'll eat my own boxers, because it's in everything. It's in everything. It's in movies and TV shows and anything that sort of references sports, or in TV shows, someone will be down on the luck and they'll go and talk to the dad who will be watching some old sporting event, and they'll be like, I know you're down on your luck, son, but look at this. It's just like, I can't remember the details of it all. I've never been a boxing fan, but it's like, I think it's Ali, right? Someone's going to jump in the comments and let me know. But either way, the dad's always like, look, Ali's just waiting and letting Foreman wail on him, and then he comes out, and I'm just like, this is the most referenced thing in sporting history. Please find some new things to reference. But getting into the match, Riddle started it all off by attacking Dane from behind, and I really like that. Just shows the intensity that Matt Riddle's feeling, which is counterpart to the chill persona that they put out there. I love Matt Riddle's entrance music. It makes me just smile every time because it's so perfect to what his gimmick is, and I really like that he has that dichotomy, and he's just like, right, I'm coming after you now. Mauro pointed out his rib tape, and I knew then that the ribs were going to be an issue throughout the match, and they really were, because Killian Dane really didn't like Matt Riddle's ribs, and he was just trying to break them and make it so that Riddle couldn't breathe. He hit Riddle with everything, man. He hit a running crossbody, a vertical suplex. He had him in a seated abdominal stretch. He was standing on the ribs. He got a knee lift. He got a gut buster. There was so many things that he was doing in this match, and it was all just focused on Matt Riddle's ribs. But Riddle put up a valiant performance, and I really enjoyed that too. There was a part where Dane got the full mount, but Matt Riddle punched his way out, but then was locked in the front face lock again. He was hitting quick strikes, and lots of them, which led to an overhead kick to Dane's shoulder blades, and then he hit an explosive suplex, and the commentary put over his deceptive strength. He hit at one point, Dane had him in the fireman's carry, but he locked in the sleeper. He then hit a powerbomb and a flash knee strike, and I was like, oh my god, he's gonna have done it, he's gonna win, and then it didn't happen, and Dane kicked out, and I was like, and I was so behind Riddle in this match. Dane picked up the momentum again, and in the end, not in the end, but towards the end, he hit a shotgun drop kick and a cannonball, and the fight spilled to the outside. Then there was some ring step action as Dane tried to go for a backdrop, but Riddle slipped because of how sweaty they both were and hit his face instead. And I gave Nigel a point for that, because he might have just been trying to cover for a botch, which is what I assume happened. But I think that that's a really nice a nice visual thing of like showing you that Dane was going for something. He wasn't just trying to smash him face first into the steps. He was going for something, but the fact that they're both exerting themselves so much, and the fact that they're so sweaty and slippy makes it so that it's not as easy to do the moves, and Riddle hits his face on the steel steps. I thought that was a really nice point from Nigel, which puts him on 10. Then it just sort of all went in the direction of Killian Dane then, because he starts hitting sentons on the outside, he hits a Vader bomb off the apron, then he hits 3 more Vader bombs on the inside and picks up the win. But Matt Riddle doesn't know what's good for him, so as NXT goes off the air, he attacks Killian Dane. And I just thought this match was really, really solid. I gave it 5- out of 6. I think, given a few more minutes, a few more spots, this could have been a solid 5. But I wasn't ready for it to be over. And I also was really disappointed that Riddle didn't win. But not in a, oh, that was a poor booking decision type way. Just in a, I really, really want to see Matt Riddle win, because he is... he's one of the coolest guys, and I've said it so many times throughout this episode because I love everyone on NXT, and as I go through and watch, I just realise how much I love this product in terms of Morrow and Nigel and Beth as the commentary team and the competitors that they have. I just love it. It's one of my favourite things in wrestling, and I can't wait for this Wednesday Night War thing to kick off, because I've really enjoyed AEW stuff, but I think that I might end up being a loyal NXT fan. But I really don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see anyway. But yeah, Matt Riddle and Killian Dane, the rivalry continues, but the match ends with Killian Dane going over, and I gave it a 5- out of 6. I'd like to give a big shout out to Alex C, who answered the WITD challenge on Twitter. I've been putting out this question to wrestlers: how would you describe your in-ring style to a hashtag blind wrestling fan? No one's got back to me yet, except for Alex C, who answered my tweet to Zack Sabre Jr. about how he'd describe himself, and Alex said, "Imagine a snake that bends itself around its prey in horrifically painful ways. Except instead of a snake, it's a bendy British socialist." I really appreciate that, Alex. I've seen one of Zack Sabre Jr.'s matches, I believe against Noam Dar in the Cruiserweight Classic, but I'd never seen anything past that. From what I saw in that match, though, that's a fairly accurate description. It's a really good metaphor and a visual way to paint a picture of what ZSJ does in the ring. So, because of that, Alex C is the WITD challenge winner for this week. If you've got any thoughts on this week's episode of NXT or this episode of WITD, just drop them down in the comments section, or you can answer the WITD challenge on Twitter at Mason_WITD. If you've liked this, click the like button, subscribe, and hit the notify bell so you don't miss any more of these WITD podcasts. I'm really enjoying doing them, and I can't wait for NXT Live. I'm really excited. See you later. I'm off, and you should have a good one. Alex C.